people, welcome to the Sandblast Show. I just want to introduce you to the new tool for the shop. It's a tool that says normally this would be a very dusty machine, even it creeps through the seams. Normally it would be a machine that says it sprays residual sandblast material all through the corners, but with the system that I have, which is an upgraded system, it has a cyclone collector, okay, and you guessed it, from Harbor Freight. It comes with the cyclone, it comes with the top. Now you have to buy your own bucket, which I had one, and it comes with this nice hose, okay, and in the back is where it draws off any of the residual fumes, let's say the real fine dust. And the vacuum is just used to pull in that dust and cyclone it through the cyclone, and it drops it in the bucket where you can then recycle it. What I've got here, people, we're working on the 86 Dodge Ram, and as you can see, there is some heavy scale, okay? And what this is a ball that goes on where the let's just show you these little hard pieces here. These are like a phenolic piece or a hard cast of some form of like plastic. And what these do is these go like this inside of this other piece that I have inside that box. And as you can see, it pivots. And this is where the Z-bar, okay, if you don't know what a Z-bar is, that's where the clutch hooks to underneath the car or truck, and it pivots back and forth off the frame and the transmission. And as you push the clutch in, there's a rod that comes down. It pushes in and out on the pickle fork, okay, or the clutch fork. This little ring right here, as you can see, this is what retains these little pieces here. And we're going to show you that. But what I wanted to show you was the corrosion and the rust that is 40 years old, roughly. This is from 1986. Now, mind you, if this was a Northern Rust Belt vehicle, this would already be rounded off and gone. But what we have is a California truck that sat in the Bay Area, and although it didn't have salt, it did have a little bit of moisture in the air, maybe from the ocean. So what I want to show you here tonight, people, is a situation that says, we found this on Marketplace, and the guy had bought it, or he had got it from his wife, got it for him for a gift. And he had it on Marketplace. I've been watching them. They're anywhere from $250 to $300. And yes, they're only $229 brand new. But with this upgrade kit that I'm going to show you, it's quite a deal. It's almost a $300, at least $250 upgrade kit. And what it does is it has a regulator. Well, let me show you. The regular machine just has an inlet, and here it is here. Here's the gun, okay? This is the one that comes with it. You hook your air line to it, and then this little siphon tube, as you see, it just sticks down into the sand area, and it sucks it up through, and the air pressure blows it onto the material. Now, as you see here, this kit comes with two separate hoses, and it actually has a regulator with the kit. Now, this is at least a $40 kit, a regulator, okay? And it has hose that goes around, and look at here. This is what actuates it. These foot pedals are $129. This came with it, people. So we got quite a nice little bargain, but it doesn't end there. The gloves are good. Now, on these kits here, let me get out of the light. These are usually just a bolt head that holds this plastic piece down, okay? The upgrade also comes with these little wing nuts so that when you need to wipe the glass off or clean it, okay, you can actually take it out easier. And what I did when I got it, this was very hard to get off. I actually drilled that out, oversized all them holes just a little bit. So now, as you see, I have the glass in there with the plexiglass in front of it. And take a look at what we have. I did put a new bulb in it, but ordinarily, let me show you. Let me open this up and show you. Ordinarily, Okay. This little cardboard piece here is just to keep the sand off of the door from blowing out. And then this right here, this tape basically covers up any of your just openings, right? But take a look what we have in here. And inside here, this normally sits up here. But it must have been cut down or whatever to fit down in there. Or maybe that's where it fits. But as you can see down in there, all the glass. Let me see if I can focus down there for you. That is like a funnel that goes down. And then the original one, you would have the rod that sticks down in there. Okay, down in there. And actually tries to siphon it up. Where if you look at, let me back you out. If you look over here, underneath, you can see the unit that came. This is a piece here. Let me show you. This is a piece here that is the money, right? This is the tubing and the plumbing that pulls the sand right from the bottom. And you can adjust it. This little adjuster here. This gives you more or less air. But that's where you really want to have performance. You have this upgrade kit. Okay? But let me, now that we've showed you that, now I did have to buy this separate. This was $39 at Harbor Freight. But I showed you what that all came with. But let's get in here and let's take a look at how the quality of the work that this does. Now this took me about 5 minutes. I want you to look at it. And I want you to take a good look at it and see that's what 5 minutes inside the blast cabinet does. And I don't know what exactly material it is. He did give me, however, let's take a look. The gentleman did give me the existing sand plus this here. So this looks like 80 grit. And I priced this out. This is like $30, plus he had about $30 worth in there. So that's like $60 worth of blast media. There's a brand new bag in here. Okay. And, of course, there's about $30 worth that's already in there. Now, the beautiful thing with this cyclone kit is instead of it going through your vacuum and plugging your filter, all this does is uses the air to pull through your cyclone, so to speak. And then all the excess falls down inside. Now, it's really not sand. It's just fine, fine dust. So we're only going to probably have to change that out every so often. But also, look what he's got plumbed in here. I need to get a two-way down there where my air comes in, but you have an actual handle in there for blowing off your parts. But let's bring you back over to the bench, and let's take a look at this situation. Now, here we go. We're looking really good. We're getting up close to it, and we're seeing that although it was a little pitted from the surface rust, it looks like we have a situation here. It almost looks primered, you know. So you can see here just a little bit on the edge. We're going to go ahead and all these parts that go to the frame, we're going to go ahead and put them in epoxy primer or self-etch, one or the other. And then we're going to go ahead and get this baby put back in the vehicle. And we're going to go from there. Let's take a look at what we have here now, people. Hold on a minute. I think I see a small crack in that weld. Sure enough. You see that? That's a small crack there, people. So there's something right there that tells me that would have broke off eventually, maybe. I thought that was just a shadow, but it's actually a crack. See if I can get you down on there. Let's see if I can get you down on there. Yep, so that's a crack. What I'll have to do is grind that in a little bit and put a nice bead of weld on that then. Well, beautiful. But other than that, you can see all the posts are good on it. Everything has been sandblasted 100%. It makes short order of it. You know, if you could use a flapper disc, so to speak, and you'd be pulling material off. But if you use the sandblaster, that's the kind of results you can get. And that's how it started out right there. So we're going to go ahead and throw the rest of these in there. And we're going to actually see if we can't get the rest of these done, because we've got some parts down in the basement. Now look what it does to these bolts. Look how nice it cleans that up. So that part goes to the clutch, the fork that pushes the throwout bearing in and out. But scenario there, and we've got the garage picked up a little bit. I got some stuff moved around. Let me show you the dash now that I've got it all done. Take a look at this. I'll put the camera right above so you can see it. All the gauges and stuff are hooked up. You've got the windshield wiper and the headlight. All the clutch is hooked up. Let's go down here and take a look. Now this is just temporarily sat in there, but as you can see, I want to bring you back to where this boot is back here. That rod right there is what operates the Z-bar, which is the part I just cleaned. Let me see if I can do this. See it? So as you push the clutch in, that bar, let me take you on the outside of the cab to show you. That bar actuates that lever right there. And that works off the Z-bar, and then, of course, pushes your clutch in. So that's that. What we did is we got the upper part all cleaned off nice. As you can see, I got everything except the radio and the heater in there. But that's something I need to get a heater control, and then the radio I think I'm going to go with a Bluetooth. But there's the dash. And we got everything in there pretty good. There's a steering wheel. If I remember right in my old videos, I rebuilt that 100%. Now these don't come all painted from the factory. They just come kind of dusted. But I cleaned that all off, and we did a really good job rebuilding that, in my opinion. But that's the deal there. Let me shut this light off. That's another look at this blast cabinet. And I'll tell you what, when you are in a situation where, you know, maybe you're bored and you don't want to just watch the pre-programmed stuff on TV that's just trying to just disintegrate your mind off the TV, you can come out in your garage and you can come out here and you can maybe blast some parts clean. You can go ahead and get all your stuff prepped so that when you do have nice weather, you can turn around and you can put a nice coat of paint and primer on it. But that's the review on the Harbor Freight. It has a Summit racing sticker on it. It's not from Summit. That's just a sticker he had. This is a Central Pneumatic 40-pound capacity floor blast cabinet. And as you can see, I've got a really nice bright light in there. You can really see nicely how it operates. And I'm pretty happy with it, people. I'm very, very pleased with it. And as you can see, the results speak for themselves. And it's a situation that says we're in good shape. We're going to go ahead and get this in paint. And when spring comes around and we have the truck up on the driveway, we're going to be assembling it as we get home. And the other thing I wanted to show you was this garage door. Now I had one of these springs break over here. That's a new spring. And this door was getting really heavy. If you're starting to get a door that's getting super, super heavy, people, the possibility is maybe your door, the springs are wearing out and they're getting ready to break. But I want to show you how nice and easy this door comes up. Look at that. Now, when you adjust them doors, you have to do one a little bit, tighten it up, and go back to the other one, tighten it up. Don't do just one and then walk over to the other one. You'll have a door that kind of comes up crooked. So that's my advice to you there. We're going to go ahead and shut this down because it's cold out. And I just wanted to show you that while I did it, or while I had it right handy here. Those springs are new now. And the door, though it may be a little stained, it's working fine. The other thing I had to give you a little bit of a show on was this here. I do have a brand new battery for the Suzuki Eiger. I went over to the Suzuki dealer and he wanted $129 for a battery. And I told him I got to have it, you know, because I wasn't trying to get online and order one. I had to have it right away. So he goes out in the back, and he comes out and he has this one. This is a no-name brand. And he says, well, this one's not $129. It's actually out the door with tax and everything was $82. He says, would you like to try this one? I said, yes. So I brought it home. I put the date on it. I put my name on it. And he did say to charge it. There's acid you have to put down in here. It gives you a cover. You snap down in there when you're done. It's like a cartridge that you set on there and puncture it, and all the acid runs down. You do not want to charge these with a 12 volt, say a 10 amp charger. You want to use a small trickle charger. You want to use a charger, let me show you. You don't want to use something that has high amperage. You'll cook the battery and you'll ruin it. Ask me how I know. Okay, so here's what we've got. As you can see, this is a battery maintainer charger. Fully automatic with a float mode monitoring system. As you notice, it's under 2 amps. It's 1.5. This is what you want to charge your small batteries with. Now you put it on 12 volt. Obviously there's a 6 volt and a 12 volt, but you put it on 12 volt and you use nothing bigger than 2 amps. So a lot of them you're going to see are 1.5, so that you don't hurt the battery, being that it's still, even though it's brand new. The other thing I want to show you was I got this over to Harbor Freight, and I leave this right up on my my rolling cabinet. And let me tell you something. I didn't know how well these were going to be, these screwdrivers, but so far I've already used multiple things in here. As you can see, some are dirtier than others now, but these are very, very high quality, believe it or not. These are, I know you're saying Harbor Freight, high quality. Actually, they're not bad. I paid $19 for this. That's, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, almost 60-something pieces, plus all these little bits for $20. I mean, even in Joe Biden's economy, that's not a bad deal. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that if you see that at Harbor Freight, they have it on sale from time to time for $19. That's really not a bad deal, people. Now, you're not going to run to your buddy's garage and you're going to try to look at his Snap-on stuff and try to do a comparison video with it. But at the end of the day, when you need a screwdriver real quick, it's there, okay? But that's the review on the 40-pound Harbor Freight sandblasting cabinet. Now, I wouldn't think I would be happy at all without that vacuum setup right there. And here's why. Even with the vacuum going on, it's kind of a little bit cloudy in there. You can still see what you're doing, but it's a little cloudy. And without that vacuum piece where it's sucking off that smoky mist, you would definitely have to spray it and stop every 2 seconds. So to me, they almost ought to come up with this as a kit, already as one whole piece, but you would wind up paying $400, $450 for it. And I think there's a price point where they finally get to where they say, let them get it home, let them realize that it's kind of half-assed, and they'll have to go ahead and upgrade it on their own, seeing as they've already bought it. And I think that's what the demographics are saying. But as a review, out of, let's say out of 10, I would give this a 9.5. Not a bad tool with the cyclone and the vacuum setup. Without it, I would give it maybe a 3.5, maybe 4. So don't think you're just going to go buy this cabinet and you're going to say to yourself, you, the DIYer, are going to be happy with that, because you won't. Unless you get the cyclone kit, you're not going to be happy. You'll say, just like everybody else, put it on Facebook Marketplace, put it on Craigslist, and get it on down the highway. With the cyclone kit, though, I'll say this. You can really get some good results, and you can get them quite effectively, and you can get them real fast. So, me personally, I'm going to keep it. And here's the thing. Even if it was just to do the parts I need for this rebuild on this truck, it would be worth it. But it's going to be, think about how handy that is. Even if you wanted to weld something up to get the rust and scale off it, you could throw it in there and get a really nice penetration and a good connection. So, Like I said, if you're going to get one of these, get the Cyclone. Now, they sell different Cyclones online, but for $39, this one here seems to work really good. It comes with all the hoses and clamps. I have a really nice vacuum. I've had that for a long time. But the guy told me when I bought it, he said, if you just run the vacuum to the back, and you can do that, you wind up plugging your filter real fast. And I don't know what real fast means, if it's a day or half a day or whatever, but I was convinced enough that I said, I'm going to go get me the Cyclone. I got online and looked, and they're all over the internet, but do you want to wait? So I looked at Harbor Freight, and they had one in stock, a Bauer. And as you see, it's really not a bad setup. It comes with the lid, it comes with the bolts, comes with the gasket, comes with the hose, comes with the clamps. And we're basically shitting in high cotton right now. I'm really happy with it. But this is your boy Bry. I wanted to give you a review on this cabinet. I wanted to tell you about the screwdriver set, and I wanted to tell you about that garage door spring set. Now, don't think that, now here's the other thing. Now, don't think you're going to grab onto that garage door and just tackle it without thinking about it now. There's little cogs in there, okay? If you can see it, let me see if I can focus in on it for you. You see that little opening on there? There's 4 of those on the end of the spring. And then if you look at the red ones right there, those are the square little bolts. When you get it to where you want it, you have to hold it and tighten it down. There's 2 spots. You tighten one, then you tighten the other, and then the spring doesn't slide around that shaft. But let me tell you this. They do sell a special tool for that. Or if you have a couple of these, which are anchor bolts that go into the, if you do a concrete foundation, like a block foundation, you put them in the mud, and that little 90-degree L there is what's supposed to keep it from just sliding out. And then you put your sill plate over it and you bolt it down. These actually are the right size for them openings. You put one in there, and you come around the back, and you hold one with each hand, and you work it around with each hand until you get it where you want it. And then you'll hold one, you'll move the other one to the other side, you'll pull it a little bit, change your other one, and you keep twisting it around until you feel enough tension on it that you can lock it down. So you don't need a special tool. You just need to use your brain and say, I just need a couple concrete legs, and get her done. But here we go. We got the rest of these parts. We're going to clean them up. We're going to do another video when all the parts are cleaned up, and we're going to actually show you that this 86 Dodge Ram, every bolt has been pulled off of it. This is going to be a better than factory build. This is going to be a concourse restoration. We're going to try to do the best of our ability. As always, we're going to try to do the best of our ability, because if you're not doing it right, you're not doing it. Do you get that finally through your head? You're not doing it. So I don't mean to yell at you, the DIYer. I'm just putting it out there that you got to do it right. If you're not going to do it right, you're not going to do it. So if you're going to do it, but do it right. I got a buddy of mine. He's accomplished quite a few of this things this week on his own. He got and got a few little projects going on that actually quite impressive. He got a nice pellet stove, okay, that he got running. He got that on a, let's just call it a good deal. I ain't going to tell you how much, because we don't want to have the state trooper show up at his house and arrest him because he robbed it. You know what I mean? But that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to buy low and sell high. At least sell mid-high. You're not supposed to buy high and then give it away. That's not the name of the game, people. But he got off the couch and he got some stuff done this week, and actually spurred me in the backside and said, come on now, you got your buddy over there getting more done than you're getting done. So you need to get out in that shop, and you need to take them tools, and you need to get some stuff going, because if you don't do it, who's going to do it? You're the DIYer. You're supposed to be the one that says, I'm not going to pay that long limousine dollar. I'm not going to be subjected to people that are just trying to rob me. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to attempt to do it myself, because the only way you're going to lose is if you don't never give it a shot. So if you need some advice, if you need some help, if you need some stuff, here's your other thing. Get on Facebook Marketplace. When they ask for $300 for something, just shoot them a crazy price. Say, no, I got $125. And watch how the people will, unbelievably on there, they will dicker with you. They'll be ready to bargain with you. And that's just a tech tip for the marketplace. As a matter of fact, I even had a situation where a buddy of mine was looking for something, right? And he said, oh, this guy won't budge on it. He came down a little bit. And I gave him a pretty, reasonable but low price, to see if he would bite. And we came up with a plan. I said, what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and call him. And the price you gave him, let's just say for conversation, $300. I'm going to come in even lower than that and say, well, it ain't worth that to me. I'll give you $175, which will make your offer seem that much more appealing. And honestly, it worked. The guy, he called him the following day and said, I'll take it for the X amount, whatever it was. And little did he know, he had the Facebook people on there. We're working as a team. You know what I mean? You've got to get a buddy, and you've got to say, here's the situation. We got to work these people over a little bit because they're trying to ask a ridiculous price for some of these things. Like this blast cabinet, I had people on there asking for $200 for a blast cabinet that's $229 at Harbor Freight. And I said, that don't make any sense. All the consumables are in there, and you've used it, okay? And the only time you want to pay upwards of $200 is if they've got that whole kit like I got there. Because now you're talking, at least I figured it out, it's over $400. Let's just call it $425. So if you can get it for half of that, $200, $175, then you're doing good. But I got $150 in this one. The guy just happened to throw it on there. I went over to his house. He had a ton of nice stuff in his house. He just was trying to get rid of it. And after I was there loading it, he said, I probably should have asked more for it. And all the valves on the foot valve and all that are all brass. It's a nice kit. But, I wasn't going to dicker with him beyond that because it's already a really good price. And with this other part I got with the Cyclone, I got another 40 in it, let's say. So let's just call it, I got 200 in this kit. That's roughly 450. So I'm ahead of the game, and I'm getting her done, people. I'm getting her done. You know what I mean? I don't have to sit there and wonder how much sandpaper I got to work around this thing. And the grinders and flapper wheels, they're for different things. They're not for type of stuff like this. I don't want to take material off this. I just want to take the surface off it. But this is your boy, Bry. I wanted to give you the review. I wanted to bring it down and say, that's what we're doing. Remember, I do have the Haynes manual here, people. These are getting harder and harder to find. So if you can find one for your vehicle, if you, the DIYer, have an old project vehicle, you better get looking on eBay for them. But, all right, this is Bry. I got to get on down the road.